Pal. We're live. It's live, pal. It's all live. I love how that made it. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Well, first of all, we're going to go through the fun testing phase.
Working on it here.
Because it's live. It's live TV, pal.
Oh, there we go.
Oh. Maybe. So this is live is so much more fun, but it's also like, all right, yay, there I go, my fat ass is. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I'm Athletic Geek. He's Jedi Jason Kruger.
Hi.
Ah, yes. And yeah, we had a kind of an interesting week in wrestling.
We did.
And a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of stuff to get to. If you've never seen this before, this is the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. Jedi and myself have been fans of wrestling for a long time. We've been talking about wrestling with each other for damn near 15 years at this point. And we love wrestling, and we love talking wrestling, and we love sharing our love of wrestling with you, the viewer.
That's right.
I think I'm still out of frame.
You're a little out of frame.
Yeah. Fix that there, camera. If that helps it. See if that helps it.
It's fine till you lean in at all.
Yeah. We'll try that now. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. Yeah.
Trained professionals here.
Live is awesome. It's more fun live than we are with
It is
tape.
more fun live.
Yeah.
We could talk to people.
Yes. If people even come. Hello to the Dementia Wrestling Institution. Shout out to those guys. This is the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. Me and Jedi have been fans for years, been talking wrestling for years. We love sharing it with all of you, but we're not insiders. We're not in the wrestling business. We're just fans, just like each and every one of you. Our opinions are just the same as yours. We try not to use insider terms because we are not wrestlers. At the end of the day, we are just two marks. And yeah, well, we have our glasses of Geek Trade.
Woohoo! Trademark pending.
Trademark pending, yeah. And yeah, let's we got the Dementia Wrestling Institution. We got Eric in here, and we're gonna start
The ceiling. At least where I'm at.
Yes, we are gonna talk. Now we're gonna talk Raw first, and Raw was very up and down. It was a different kind of show. I mean, it wasn't there. How do I say this? It had some things in there I enjoyed, but overall, I don't think it was a show I liked. Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah.
Makes me. I still hope he comes back for another match, at least at WrestleMania. You know, partially because I'm going and stuff and never seen Shawn Michaels live. But back to Raw. I guess we should start with. I want to start with the first. I think Ronda cut a good interview. She had a really good interview in the ring. I feel like Ronda's really gotten better. I feel like we kind of bag on Ronda a lot on this show, so I want to put out there that she did a good job.
I'm excited for her versus Becky.
Yes.
I mean,
I really want Becky to win.
No offense to just about everybody Ronda's been in there with, but I feel like this is the first time she's in there with like more of a ring general, someone who actually knows how to work with someone who doesn't have as much experience.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to the best Ronda match. Yeah.
But this whole thing was set up, and we're already talking about this stuff out of order. These are just kind of my high points of the show.
We're ADD is a rapid on speed. Yes.
But I want to talk about that. But then Nia Jax.
Of course, Ronda could have benefited from NXT time, but that just wasn't an option.
Yeah, that was...
Hashtag Shayna Baszler.
Yeah. I mean, we said that before. She needs NXT time, but, when you got that name value, you want to make money off of that immediately. But we end up just using this whole thing. Ember Moon comes out, Nia Jax comes out. Nia Jax aligns herself with Tamina. no one knows
Interesting.
why. No, I'm not going to say interesting. I want to say crap. I'm going to say, like, why did she turn? And, I mean, I'm not trying to knock Tamina, but nobody cares about Tamina.
They're not doing stories. Like, they're still... All I can see, confusingly, and crossing into SmackDown waters a little bit, they're still acting like they're going to do women's tag team titles. They're like, look, we're making teams. And it kind of makes sense. It's like, look, we got a monster team here or whatever, you know. Villains, that kind of makes sense. But then on SmackDown, you're basically teasing breaking up Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And it's like, I don't know. I don't think they know what they're doing.
That's exactly what you said. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I think they literally have different writers pushing different agendas that aren't talking to each other, and we're getting it all.
Yeah.
Because maybe Vince is in his 70s and no longer proofreading this stuff.
What I'm hoping for is in 2020, Vince just devotes all his time to the XFL and just lets Triple H take over everything. And then in even more confusing waters in the women's division, you have a 6-lady tag team match with the Riot Squad versus Sasha, Bailey, and Natalya. And Natalya was wearing a pair of her dad's sunglasses to the ring, which I guess is supposed to be touching. And Ruby Riott breaks the sunglasses in an attempt to, seem like more of a villainess. And it bothers Natalya. And I was on board with all of this up to that point.
Okay.
Like, okay, hey, ooh, what an evil person. Oh, poor Natty. I want to see Natty whip her ass. But then I go... No. Then the match just stops due to sunglasses breaking.
Yes. A very attitude era non-finish. You will. Just... Yes, I heard that too.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. I mean, totally justified too. One of the few times where it's like, yeah.
Well, a few times they can count to 10 and, it actually not be obnoxious.
Right.
Well,
so,
there's a hot take from the fucking Athletic Geek there. But
yeah, that was really weird. In this day and age, we don't do that anymore.
No.
Because they did do that at one point badly for a long time.
But it's just kind of like, so the match ended due to...
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I can understand, she's so devastated, finish her! And then it's over. But the match just ended.
Yeah.
Why?
Or even if they were so busy gloating, the count out. I mean, a double count out. I don't know. A no contest where they could at least announce that, or I don't know, something, anything.
Well, it wasn't no contest, it was sunglasses breaking.
Dude, sunglasses breaking.
And then we have, to go back
devastating injury.
Go on the men's side of things, Baron Corbin announced this really weird interview, where he's talking like he's going to be the captain of Team Raw, and then Kurt Angle's like, no, I want to be the captain of Team Raw, and I'll wrestle you for it.
I don't understand how he's like, I'm the captain of Team Raw. By the way, the guy who screwed out of the title a couple nights ago is on my team.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
and they didn't really capitalize on that a lot. It just felt... This is kind of the part where I'm like, these things
Braun didn't
suck.
even get to flip a car or something.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard would it have been for him to, rain down the car? Here's what I thought. It's like, he gets in the car to drive away. Braun gets in front of the car, stops the car physically, because why not? I mean, Braun does crazy things. And then Corbin ditches out of the car, scared for his life, and runs, and through special effects, Strowman flips the car, just to show that he's angry and flip cars, because who doesn't like to see Braun flip giant vehicles over?
I mean, I'm on board with that.
It'd have been something.
So that's two nights where, that's two things in a row where Braun's, looked like...
kind of a chump.
Yeah, looked like a chump. He got buried for the title, and then he let Corbin just do that. And then, but, Kurt Angle says, I challenge, and then, we'll get to the main event, let's talk about that now. We'll just flip-flop all over the fucking place.
Old Yeller?
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to say that this is the part I really liked, one of the parts I really liked about the show, because it got uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, it did.
It wasn't just like this. It was like you, you know, I mean, this is somebody I got Kurt Angle's autograph there. I've met Kurt Angle three times, you know.
Met him a couple.
4 times. 4 times. I forgot about the time you didn't get to meet him because TNA stole your money on accident. That's 4 times, and like I'm here going, wow, you're hurting Kurt Angle. Like stop. And like I don't feel, and it's hard to get me to feel that way about wrestling now, and they did. Fair. So kudos, and then the cherry on top, he taps out to his own move. I don't think I've ever seen anybody make anyone else look that strong before, ever. Any veteran, any legend, any Hall of Famer make anybody look that good. And Kurt Angle did.
That was like a roadside murder. That was just... that was crazy.
Yeah. So, I guess Kurt Angle isn't even on the Survivor Series team anymore. Hey, Ray, what's up? We'll get to your questions eventually, so if we don't see it right away, just... We're not ignoring you. We will get to it. We promise. Mm-hmm. Promise.
We like
Pinky swear. Pinky swear. Say like other YouTube shows of people who I've shook hands with at StarCast. The way I want to steal their format, but they kind of talk, and then they look at questions, and then they talk again. So that might be.
Gotcha.
But I feel bad doing that because thievery.
We'll go back and watch Kurt Angle versus.
Go watch.
Drew McIntyre this last Monday.
Main event on Raw. So there's that.
Just on YouTube even. You can get the crooks of the part that we're talking about. It's there.
And then we also, Seth Rollins. First of all, I want to point out, I thought it looked cool how he had like the Intercontinental title and the 2 tag belts. I thought that looked pretty cool.
It did.
But that wasn't going to last because he had to defend those belts against AOP in a handicap match. Sometimes I just got to look up, is it going to go down in the record books as Ambrose and Rollins, or are they doing a TNA where where Rollins held just both tag titles as a single guy like Samoa Joe did in TNA?
Technically they won them together, so for the whole 2 weeks they had them. There would be a little asterisk, maybe, defended 1 on 2, but...
Right.
Hey, AOP, you got the belts.
They mean nothing because it's tag team wrestling in WWE. So, hey, Young Bucks, don't go! Please!
No kidding.
Please don't go, Young Bucks. Splash Kurt at the prom.
Oh, I really hope not.
Don't, I agree, but don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I can't think about that without tearing up.
Because that was, I honestly think Drew McIntyre needs to. I really think he needs to win the Royal Rumble. After that, I maybe have him go after AJ instead of Lesnar, but I'd have him win the Rumble. So the whole thing, like all this Survivor Series stuff with the captains and picking they haven't announced all. I feel like I feel like both shows did too much in one night.
Because they were screwing around with Crown Jewel and suddenly realized they had 2 weeks. It's next Sunday.
Yeah.
One of their big 5 pay-per-views, and they have done nothing for it until now. And and again, not to keep, but if you watch other YouTube channels, like we're all at least, not all, but a lot of us are kind of thinking the same thing. It's like they did like a month on both shows, a month's worth of build up in a night, and on one hand I get it, but for me, even though I'm supposed to be kind of giving analysis here, I'm just kind of like, what? That's a lot to take in. Mm-hmm. It's like on the other hand,
it's like when I read all of my comic books on one day. Mm-hmm. It's like,
right? Yeah, I get that. On the other hand, it's it's Survivor Series. It's basically
the one night a year where it runs.
It's the
superstars compete head-to-head in direct competition.
Let's be honest, this one night a year where nothing really happens storyline-wise. Like, I mean, they could advance a story, but nothing really happens of substance. I mean, I guess Smackdown and Raw can say we won.
Other than last year, I will say the only thing of substance happened is the second best wrestling match, and that includes the Okada two of the 3 Okada Omega matches happened at Survivor Series last year with AJ and Braun.
I agree.
Yeah.
But nothing came of it afterwards. Like, it was great to watch, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't watch Survivor Series. I'm saying,
well,
does it really affect
Well,
anything?
use that to segue into SmackDown. Here's a good and bad thing from SmackDown. AJ has finally got to 1 year as WWE Champion, which hats off to AJ. That is something I never thought I'd ever say.
Isn't it wacky to think we're getting Brock versus AJ again? From the same title
but
reign
that's
on his side.
What they're he did an interview on Brock Lesnar. AJ can't lose 2 years in a row.
I know, he really.
And he's going to.
I know he is. Like we're talking about McIntyre and the 50-50 booking and stuff, but God forbid they do the same thing for AJ when it actually makes sense.
Yeah, it would make
helpful. I mean.
It would make sense. I mean, 50-50, it makes sense. Hey, I've been wrestling and you taking time off. I'm good. You're not in ring shape yet.
Right.
I got you this time, but it wouldn't surprise me if he F5s AJ 5 times and then just beats him. But
I mean,
AJ needs the win, but it's not gonna happen.
Did you notice it took 5 F5s to take down Strowman and 6 to take down Reigns at WrestleMania? Did you pick up on that? It took 1 less F5 to take out Strowman. I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm just throwing out there too that I was seeing red in the blind rage when I saw that, and I wasn't keeping statistics.
Well, I noticed. I
noticed it was garbage, and that's the only thing that matters. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, there really isn't. They had no time. This is the first. First thing they did this week, trying to build something. Thankfully, they got the out of it. It's just Robertson. It's just whatever champion we got's facing the other champion. It'll be okay. We'll throw together some promos. Do a little story for the. Hey, tag team. There's a tag team elimination.
What is that?
Series?
Yeah,
How does that work? Is it 5 teams? Just
I don't
one
know.
person of the team?
I mean, the Usos beat the New Day, and then they said we want you on the team, and then
they didn't even explain that. They're just I'm like, wait.
But I do want to point out that I think AOP versus the Bar is going to be just a 3 or a 4 big man, fucking like one of those old school all Japan kind of match where you'd have like Vader versus Stan Hansen, just type matches.
Spoiler alert, the Bar's going to win. They have a big show in their corner.
Yeah.
So 5 big men.
And the other one...
just because...
Drake Maverick's on the other side, so...
Exactly.
Hey, watch
I foresee bad things for him when they
Do they even have 5? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure both brands have over 5 tag teams. You just never know it. Have you heard of Gallows and Anderson? They're on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it is. I'm waiting.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, Rollins is going to be busy. He's fighting Nakamura.
Yeah, he's fighting Nakamura.
He's still
Intercontinental
champion.
I'm very excited. The card is stacked. It's a good-looking card so far. Then they do this strong. First of all, Shane McMahon comes out. I think they're really subtly hitting at a villain turn for Shane.
I hope.
Because he he's I'm not really the best in the world,
Right.
But he's still pushing Paige around a little bit, and I think they're really subtly hitting at something like that, and then
WWE subtlety, huh?
Yeah, I know. Well, the thing is, when WWE does it right, it's a fucking home run.
Right.
The subtle, and we're going back 20 years. Speaking of Survivor Series. Survivor Series 98, when The Rock became the corporate champion, they were stacking the deck against The Rock, and And it's like when you're watching it, you're thinking, okay, they're trying to stack the deck against The Rock, and it's just backfired, you know. Hey, they're going to put him up against the big boss man, you know. Oh, he catches the nightstick and curls him out, you know. And you think they're stacking the deck, but he's, you know, making him pay for it. Mm-hmm. And then when you find out that it was a setup all along, they were working with The Rock, and you go back and watch, like, no, they you can tell, obviously, they were making it an easy route for The Rock, and it was just, you know,
right.
I'll give credit to Vince Russo, Vince McMahon, the WWE, a masterpiece of the story told in one night. So if it can be done, if they can do something like that with Shane, hey, they do it right, good on them. But, you know, are they?
Okay, yeah, I kind of get what you're saying there. Rollins is Monday Night Raw. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, as far as
and he was attacked by going back there. You know, like they're still not really having Ambrose talk on why that is. Mm-hmm. We forgot about that part. Sorry, but I think at WrestleMania, him and Ambrose and Rollins might have a no pun intended with Seth Rollins a barn burner of a match.
Right. I mean, you're not wrong going to even on SmackDown. I mean, there's like 3 teams in circulation for the titles, and there's like probably 5 other teams that nobody even knows are there. That's how hard.
But once again, you know, they SmackDown with even less time fit like a month's worth of storylines into one night.
Yeah, they did.
You know,
they were pretty
they're doing this like Miz and Brian are co-captains of the SmackDown team, and then like when they actually like, I actually liked the part they like were finally coexisting, and they're like, yeah, and they smile. They agree on something, they smile. It's like, and they both go, it's awkward. Right. They both even admit it. You know, but the whole ending of it, where they're like, you know, oh my God, you know, there's dissension in Team SmackDown. It's like they just got put together.
Yeah.
You know, and Joe was still being a dick, and Brian and Miz, you know, were given like a day to go, like, hey, you gotta work together.
Yeah.
They were given, like, essentially in the term realms of the story, were given 2 hours to like, be friends, even though for the last year and a half, you've been calling him a coward and you've been seething to get back in the ring to get your hands on him, but now you're supposed to be pals. Get after it, kids. I mean...
So did they put Shane on their team because they think he's the best because he inserted himself in the tournament at the last minute? Or was that a thank you for making us captains? You can be on our team.
I think he's, I don't know, but I really wish Shane was not on the team.
Yes, I do too. I would like to ask them, what exactly were you thinking when you offered him a spot?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Baron Corbin is on the other teams.
I mean, it's like the shows weren't bad. It was just kind of like trying to keep up with all of the story they were trying to tell in, you know.
Shout out to Becky for another good.
Oh, yeah. Don't want to forget, you know, about that. Yeah, Becky did a fucking phenomenal job. Becky is the MVP. Other than AJ, I'd put her and AJ. I'd even give her a small nudge over AJ just because her storyline's been better. But like when it comes to pure like in-ring talent, they've both been the same.
Right.
But Shane's best in a row, better than AJ, better than Brock. Yeah, I mean that's what WWE's telling us. I mean he's the fucking he's the fucking best, yo.
But he lost to AJ at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he did.
And AJ lost to Brock. I don't
so
know.
Now Shane.
33 to 30%.
So now Shane is just gonna win the Universal title from Brock.
Because Kurt Angle knows.
Calling it now.
Try.
And there's a 141 2/3% chance of that happening.
Still my favorite promo.
He has T-shirts now.
I've seen them. I need it. I really need it in my life. If anybody wants to buy me a birthday present.
birthday or Christmas.
Yes, or Christmas.
Mm-hmm. That or the you're spilling Geekterade all over you.
Oh man,
that stuff ain't cheap, man.
Well, you know. I'm privileged.
Yeah.
Don't appreciate the finer things.
I mean, just like the whole story this week is like it's a good week in wrestling, but it's just too much all at once. You don't get.
Just ain't no pleasing you, is there? No, I'm kidding.
No. It's like that movie where, you know, it's like there's movies where like, that's a good movie, but like, I need a second to breathe, and you don't get it.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about this week in wrestling. It was like watching a bunch of movies like, hold on, just hold the fuck on. I need to process, like, this just happened, so now I need to know, and now this is...
Looking at you, Inception.
Yeah.
Crap.
So, I mean, it is, I mean...
It's fair.
You know, but... MVP of the week to me goes to Drew McIntyre. You know, I'd say SmackDown was by far a better show, but like the thing that I remember the most from the week was the main event.
Biggest takeaway of the week. I agree. That was the first thing that came to my mind when I was trying to think of what happened, because my brain's all over the place. So
yeah.
Wait, what happened?
My brain's all over the place with all the other shit that I cover for all the awesome people that support me. Talk a little New Japan, because we just watched a Wrestle Kingdom 13 press conference before we went live. And the biggest part of that press conference, we missed the Jay White Okada part, which, sorry, that's probably going to be pretty important. And by probably, I mean it is pretty important. Pretty much, we didn't see the press conference, but that's just a big deal because this is the first time in, I believe, since 2013 that Okada has now either been defending or in a match for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at a Wrestle Kingdom. His first Wrestle Kingdom was in 2012 against Yoshihashi, when he essentially made his debut for New Japan, and then from there he had either been challenging for the IWGP Heavyweight title or defending it. So this is going to be interesting to see just how Okada adjusts to not being going for the championship. So I think it'll be. I think it's refreshing because that's kind of as great in the ring as Okada is. You know, I kind of have my criticisms on him, at least character wise. And maybe by doing this, maybe I can buy into him more as that hero that New Japan wants me to feel that he is.
Anybody's crammed down your throat too much.
I might say he was really crammed down my throat. It was just kind of like, love him, he's the hero. It's like, he's an asshole. That was my thing.
Yes. You know, I find this funny. We could have been talking about Hulk Hogan if this was about 20 years ago.
Yeah. But
just saying.
Yeah, you jerks on the fucking West Coast, East and West Coast. Lunatic Bay is going to see, just as of the time of this live, is seeing, Kenny Omega and Pentagon and Phoenix and among others at Northeast Wrestling, and you guys have Young Lionsgate Project with Kenny. You guys both on each side of each coast of the United States get to see Kenny Omega, but fuck me, right?
I saw a skunk on the way here.
Yeah. So. Nice, yeah.
There's been poor ticket sales lately in general for the WWE.
Then we go to the part that we really did watch, which was supposed to be Naito and Jericho, but Jericho was not there.
Yeah.
And Naito pretty much let us know exactly how he felt about him, calling him Big Liar Chris Jericho. Like that's going to become a thing, is the Big Liar Chris Jericho.
He was also pretty critical of the company.
Yeah, and saying hell, we were all told to keep this day open. And I wonder if that's becoming a thing because they kind of have hinted. We don't really deal in rumor and innuendo on this show. This is. If you want to hear rumors and dirt sheet stuff, go listen to The Observer. Don't listen to us.
Yeah, I've heard stuff about the Angle McIntyre thing, but I wasn't going to bring it up because of that. So.
Yeah, there's a dirt sheet report saying that people are unhappy in New Japan. Maybe this is kind of playing off of that whole report or something. I don't know. Jericho. The Big Liar, Chris Jericho. Yeah, hopefully he's lying about not starting a new promotion and Young Bucks and Cody being involved in that because that means they're not going to WWE. And yeah, so yeah. But yeah, it's I'm really hoping. I think Naito will get his win back over Jericho for that Intercontinental title he hates so much.
Right.
But, you know, it's shaping up to be a really interesting card. You know, we got Ishimori versus Kushida for the junior title. You know, World Tag League is starting next week or so. We'll find out who'll be challenging the Gorillas of Destiny for the tag titles. After that, so
Tag titles.
yeah, tag title.
Watched WWE and got sad.
So yeah, things are kind of heating up in New Japan. This is essentially the Road to Wrestle Kingdom. It's the New Japan version of the Road to WrestleMania right now, and but the big question is going to be the main event. You know, because I think if Kenny loses, I think we all pretty much know where it's going at that point. So, but we'll see what happens. Will this cause a rift between Naito and Evil? I don't think so. I mean, it's not like any Evil lost fair and square. So I mean, I don't think it would be smart if this was what caused a rift in Lij. You know, Evil didn't win. Now Naito is Naito lost, so his brother in Lij said, I want Chris Jericho, and now Evil lost, and Naito said, hey, I want my rematch. You know, so I really don't...
Yeah, I wouldn't see where...
Unless there's something else we're not picking up on, I don't really think that's the case. So... before we forget, you know, we talked about Becky Lynch, you know. Stupid. The man, Becky Lynch. One thing I forgot to mention, which I feel so stupid for not mentioning now, is that led to Nikki Cross finally joining Sanity on Smackdown, and I didn't like that she just got tapped out, and her...
I've heard a lot of speculation that may not be an official call-up because they were in England.
Oh.
And she's Scottish.
Right.
They did the same thing with Pete Dunne last time they were over there with Enzo or whatever.
Okay,
so
okay.
It might not be official.
Okay.
And that may be why they thought.
But I was really happy. But I was really happy to see Sanity all together again with Nikki Cross. So.
Yeah.
And I hope it's. So yeah, I wanted to point that out, but you know, because we're ADD in it today. We're just flying by the seat of our pants.
Hey, can I say? You know, they do obviously.
Yeah.
The writing team.
I got an idea. Why don't we do things this way? Deep, deep, deep. Shout out to Conrad and Bruce Pritchard for that bit right there. Which by the way, just I hate to do. I mean, but they're so much bigger than us, and they have an actual former WWE personality there. So I guess I'm not really, promoting the competition too much. But if you haven't listened to last week's Something to Wrestle With podcast that they did with Daniel Puder and the Hardcore title, go listen to it. Because go listen to at least, if you listen to the Hardcore title part at least, there is a very humorous story about King of the Ring 2000 and just how weird Vince McMahon's mind is and how he can hear one suggestion from somebody, take it in such an extreme other direction. I can't go into too many details because you need to hear this story. But yeah, it's hilarious. So go check that out.
It sounds so believable already.
Right. But yeah, just good stuff. But just kind of it all happened so fast. I still haven't fully processed it to be able to really talk about it. And that's my failure as a wrestling YouTube personality. But just I don't know. I mean, it was good. Everything was the storytelling was good. It's just kind of it all just happened so fast. It's I find myself going.
Don't expect it to slow down next week.
This, and then this, and then you carry the wand, and then Becky Lynch is here, but then that's where AJ stopped. No, he's at home, and then there's Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan, but Miz is greater than or equal to Daniel Bryan. I'm done. I don't know.
Each other.
Yeah. We have conversation, but
Communication.
But unless there's anything else our chatters want to add, I believe we might call this a short but a good episode. Now, okay, it wasn't a good episode. We have suffering. Yep. This is actually straight up. This is the very first Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt I've ever owned. I've never owned a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt, and I got this for $10 whole. And it's actually got a good, made out of good material, so, it was actually a steal.
If you want to reset the entire timeline like Flash did in Flashpoint, give me a hell yeah. Now give me some beer.
If you want to do that, I'm not so sure what the Flash is, because when Jerry Lawler was on my podcast and said he bought Batmobile, I said, "What the hell's Batmobile, Jerry?" He asked me if I knew what a Batmobile was, and I said, I don't know what a Batmobile is. And then when he told me what a Batmobile is, I'm like, oh, that's what Batmobile is. That happened. That's true. That really all that went down. He did not know what a Batmobile was until Jerry Lawler explained it. Did I make your head hurt like this week at WWE TV, didn't he?
Worse.
Yes.
Oof. Man, I gotta drive, dude.
Yeah. But yeah.
Wow. Well then, all right.
Well then,
learn something every day.
That makes up for a very, very mediocre knowledge of the show. I should say, wasn't a knowledge of the show. It's just I didn't know how to process it even 3 days later. Don't go that far. It's too much credit. But
we wouldn't know what to say if we did.
Yeah. What are you doing in Athletic Geek HQ?
Be like,
do you want a beer?
When I met Brian Danielson. Hi, I'm Brian. Hi. I know who you are.
Yeah.
That was the whole conversation.
So, that's pretty much it for this. Thank you for joining through the always chaotic, crazy, and full of camera errors and catching things that normally you wouldn't catch.
That's right.
Episode of the Just Too Much Wrestling Recap Show.
Hey, stay tuned for next week. Survivor Series predictions.
Woo!
Wow!
Go, 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 go! Victorious theme. But yeah, so go visit the Facebook page for all things geek culture, not just from World Pro Wrestling, but the world of comics and games and anime, and give this channel a subscription if you like those things too.
Right. You can give the video a like.
You can give the video a like. You can watch this video as many times as you want.
That's right.
It's a train wreck. You'll love it.
You could listen to it while playing Skyrim and laugh.
You can do that. Or you can close your eyes and pretend Stone Cold Steve Austin's in the room with you.
You could do that.
According to folks like Eric, that's just
I think we're in
that's something you can do. So, but yep, that's pretty much it. So
we're just rambling at this point.
That's Jason Krager. I don't have social media because you got
bored.
kids. Told you about my Facebook page. Or you can follow me on Twitter at athletic_geek89. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this. But yep, we are just two marks. We're out. See you later.